Week 2 of our embodiment month inside of Rain Era. Today, I really want to have a conversation with you, heart to heart, soul to soul, eye to eye, of what hiding is actually costing you. So, again, we're in week 2 of the Embodied Healer, and this week we are going to go somewhere that I think a lot of healers avoid, and that's visibility. And I don't even think this, I know it. After working with healers from across the world for a decade plus now, this is one of the most common fears that we bump up against. And this is a beautiful gift because when we know this, we can look it in the eyes and we have an opportunity to clear it. Not in a way that takes weeks, months, and years to do, but we can clear it now. And so I want to have this conversation with you around visibility, not the highlight reel kind, and also not the perfectly curated version of yourself, but the kind where you actually allow yourself to be fully seen. And today I want to talk to you about something that doesn't get said enough. And that's what hiding is actually costing you. So here's the thing about hiding. I call this the healer's closet. Being in and out of the healer's closet, or 1 foot in or 1 foot out, or even the broom closet. We are going to be also in the future, you're going to want to just keep hanging out here because we're going to be also having conversations around the witch wound as we continue forward in Rain Era and what this visibility continues to look like as we continue to heal, clear, and release it and bring this to the forefront. But when it comes to healing, it feels protective. It feels smart. It feels like you're being careful or strategic or just waiting for not for the last moment, but for the right moment. But, big but, hiding has a cost. Every single time you water down what you actually want to say, it costs you. Every time you post the safe version instead of the real, raw, authentic truth speaking from your heart and your soul, it costs you. Every time you call it, quote, energy work or woo woo, or I'm just doing that cute little spiritual stuff because you're afraid of what people will think, or you're afraid they'll think you're too weird or whatever. If you say, no, I am a Reiki healer, or I am a tarot reader, or I am a healer. And if you're in my world and you are a quantum illumination Reiki healer, master, or teacher, you're saying, I am a healer that works in the 5D and the energy of the quantum field. When you water it down, it costs you. But it's not just costing your business. It's in your energy. It's in your physical body. It's that mind, body, energy, spirit. It's the slow drain. And it's showing up as a fraction of who you are every single day. That's an energetic leak, and it compounds. Now, what we know to be true about energetic leaks is once we are very aware of it, we can start closing those doors. We can start giving ourselves permission to look at it dead in the eye, heal, clear, and release, close the energetic leak, and move forward in our power. And here's the part that really, this part is my soul, my heart, just everything when it comes to this work. And I think it's going to land with you as much as it lands for me too. The people that you're meant to heal in this lifetime, the people that you're meant to serve and support in this lifetime, they cannot find you through the version of you who decided it was safe enough to show up. Or through the version of you that decided was safe enough to show. That watered down version of you, that's not that energetic match that they're looking for, but they are looking for you. They're looking for the real, authentic, true version of you. They're looking for the version of you that talks about what lights your soul on fire. Maybe that's soul codes or quantum frequencies or healing across timelines or past life healing or Akashic records or tarot or oracle card, Reiki healing, without apologizing for a single word of it, period. They're looking for the version of you that shows up in her full aligned frequency, not the version of you that has been pre-approved by the committee in your head. Every single day, someone who needed you didn't find you. And I personally have sat with this myself. This is not just calling you to rise, but it's also very real for me too. Because even when I get uncomfortable, because there's still some things that I'm like, there's something that I'm actually sitting with currently right now that I'm like, ooh, that rubbed me the wrong way. We need to say something about this on the interwebs because that was not right. And I'm sitting with how to say it, how it is that I desire to say it, because I know it's going to ruffle some feathers. And anytime that I have something to say from my truest essence, or that makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm like, I know that this is something that gets to be said and it's going to land with the right people, right? Or even in the beginning of my journey, when I've talked to you guys about this before, where it took me an hour plus to record a 3-minute video on energy healing, not even calling it Reiki, sweating through the shirts and heart palpitations and just freaking out, not knowing how to articulate Reiki and afraid to say Reiki in the first place. But as soon as I started articulating it, as soon as I even started talking about spirituality, meditations, Reiki, as soon as I started talking about oracle cards and anything energy and spirituality, I start getting DMs and silent whispers of, hey, me too. And I had no idea that me actually owning that and allowing myself to be seen would open the doors for other people to give themselves permission to own that for themselves, but also to be able to know where that support is for them. And that gets to be the same for you too. And here's the last thing I want to mention for you as well. Being seen isn't just growing your business. Yes, it's a part of it. Like, obviously we have to show up. If you want a business, you got to show up, period. Like, that's just part of it, right? And it's also part of your healing. I think somewhere along the lines over the years, it has gotten confused that business is separate from you. And it, like, that's couldn't be further from the truth. It's all connected. It's all one. And I personally think that entrepreneurship is one of the biggest personal development journeys that you could ever go on. Because there's so much of it that you have to trust, that you have to grow, that you have to step into. You have to break glass ceilings, and those glass ceilings now become the floor that you stand on, and you get to witness yourself. You get to witness your own growth. You get to allow yourself to be seen, to be visible, to be known, to use your voice, to use your creativity, and to see where it is that you're bumping up at the edges of your growth, and you're ready to go to that next level, right? But there's something that happens when you allow yourself to be witnessed fully witnessed, without the armor, without being 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the healer closet or the broom closet, without editing yourself or perfectly curating yourself, that you cannot get any other way. It's vulnerable. It can be very uncomfortable, but it's also one of the most powerful things that you will ever do. Because the version of you that's hiding is protecting yourself from something that already happened. It's not happening. It already happened, whether it was in this lifetime or lifetimes before. And the version of you that shows up fully, she is the one that's changing everything. She is the one that's making that impact, that your soul, like, you can feel it, that tapping at the window of your soul, the whispering in your heart. You can feel that knowing, or you just like have that knowing rather, that you are meant to make an impact in whatever way, in whatever capacity that is for you. It's different for everyone. I have people that have come into my world that don't have businesses, but they know that they are healers. I tend to magnetize a lot of teachers, actually, teachers and mamas. And it's like, you're making an impact in the world that you're meant to. that version of you that's showing up fully, she's the one who changes everything. And not just for herself, not just for you, but for every single person that's waiting to find you. We're waiting for your frequency to show up. I like to have this visualization. One of my favorite visualizations to do. You can borrow this if this feels good. I don't know if I've talked about this before. I was talking to a one-to-one client about this. But it's, you know, the song Time, I think it's called Time by Hans Zimmer. He is a very well-known composer, I think, is what he would be considered, and has done movies, all kinds of movies. Specifically, I'm thinking about Inception because the song Time was actually on Inception. So I like to put the longer version of that on in my headphones. And I like to imagine I'm on an island with a lighthouse. Now, the lighthouse is that's a great representation of you, of just being the light, right? Allowing people to see your light. And I imagine the people that are already in my world, they're already on the island. We have a fire going, like a really beautiful bonfire going. Everybody's hanging out and I start walking up to the lighthouse, and then I walk up like spiral stairs, and I get to the top, and the light is going up. And as I'm standing at the top of the lighthouse, I am looking out. I'm looking out, and I'm seeing everybody that is now coming to the shore. People who are rowing in that I can see, they're just a little bit off into the distance. And you can also see like people who are in rowboats, but they're coming towards it, just kind of looks very, very distant, kind of like pepper, right? And kind of like when you're up in an airplane and then the tree looks like broccoli and then all of a sudden everything blurs together, right? But you know they're there, you know they're coming. And the light is that magnetism for you because you are showing up and allowing yourself to be that light. And then I come down the lighthouse and I start greeting everybody that's coming onto the island, and, you know, whatever it is, whether they're signing up for whatever it is, whatever offer it is that you have that you desire to get out into the world or that you currently have out into the world, and you just see them signing up. You're celebrating them, you're giving them hugs. Maybe there's tears, there's excitement, there's joy. Everybody's around the bonfire. And so take that if that feels really good for you, and use that visualization, because that's what people are waiting for you to be in your light, for you to be in your power. And so I want you to sit with this journal prompt and put into the comments what the answer is for you. What would I do if I wasn't afraid of being seen? What would I do if I wasn't afraid of being seen? And this week's embodiment practice, I want you to share one thing that you've been holding back. Share it in here. Share it below in the comment or any of the threads that we pop in this week, but you can pop it in here. Let this community be the first place that you practice being fully seen. And drop it below. And I'm here. Allow yourself to be witnessed. And I always tell my certification students this as well. Inside of Quantum Illumination Reiki, I'm like, use the community. You get to be using this community not just to ask questions for me, but allow yourself to be seen and witnessed. Celebrate the F out of all the wins, all of them. Anything, there's nothing too small. There's nothing too small. All of it, all the wins. Ask the questions. Be in the community. Be of support or get supported. Ask the questions. All the things, because this gives you permission to take up space and to be seen, to be visible, to be celebrated, to be honored, and that also helps build that confidence. And if this is a work that you are ready to dive into deeper around being more visible, around clearing the fear of being seen, and even imposter syndrome, those wolves that have been knocking at the door, the noise in the cheap seats, the jesters entering the queendom that get to have a calm and quiet exit. This is exactly the kind of work that we're doing inside of AUDACITY. And so if that is, you're feeling like, yep, that's the work that I'm ready to do, just comment AUDACITY. I'll send the information your way. We do have limited spots available. I'm thinking 12 max. We want to keep this an intimate container to ensure, one, the intimacy, and two, to be able to really support you in creating the clearing and creating the transformation of coming home to you, your soul essence, your power, your remembrance, and being able to allow yourself to be visible and to get your gifts out into the world.